Alright, I'm just doing a quick little video here on my fire skink. I picked him up at the December 2014 Hamburg, PA Reptile Show. And promised I was going to do a closer video on everybody when I unveiled them when I got home. So the only thing I've done with him is moving him into his pretty cage. But this is Teostra. Teo for short. It's got gorgeous colors. Very red. Nice. Kind of gold on the back. Not the brightest gold back I've seen in them, but really nice. Full tail. Though I'd say by looking at the tail that this tail has obviously been regrown at one point. And he does have like some scars. He's got some scars and stuff on him. But he's very pretty. You can see he's pretty tame. He's still a pain in the butt to dig up because he doesn't want to come out of his dirt. But once he's out, he's pretty good, and he's never really nipped at me or anything. He just tries to run away. But his name's Teostra, like I mentioned, or Teo for short. And he is a adult male. He might put on an inch or two, but he is, for the most part, almost full grown. So he's almost a foot long if you include the tail. So he's almost full grown. He lives by himself and everything. He's my buddy though. We get along great. He actually just went down my shirt first take. So take two. But this is a tropical species of burrowing lizard, and him, like almost all fire skinks that you find for sale, are wild caught. He's doing very well. He was treated, but he was dewormed and everything before I got him. And he's pretty much been very tame and very calm from the get-go. I actually picked out the tamest, calmest, brightest one. So, look at that face. Is that just a really cute face? Look at that chin. Sorry, my camera's gonna leak. Look at that chin. An eye. So cute. I love him. He's great. Just trying to climb up my arm. Yeah, they are a tropical burrowing lizard that lives, I believe they're native to Africa. I'll correct myself in the video description if I got that wrong, but I think they're native to Africa. And like I said, almost all of them that you find in pet stores or shows are wild caught. Very few people breed them in captivity. And I actually, my first one was a captive-born baby, and it was very hard to take care of, very hard to get eating, and it turns out the breeder I got him from, he was already sick when I bought him. He had an upper respiratory infection. He only lived about, that particular one, whoops, come on Teo, this isn't working very well, you know. That particular one I bought only lived for, sorry YouTube. I'm bad at this. But yeah, that particular one I had bought only lived for about 3 weeks. But you can see he's very healthy. He's good and active. Very, very pretty animal. Got a lot of personality. See from his face. Honestly, personality-wise and like tame and being okay with being handled, he's like a bearded dragon, only not quite as big. So I do love that. He wants my hair. All animals love my hair, especially him. Like I said, he went down the back of my shirt first take, so he's a very good boy. He's staring at me. Staring at me talking. Look at him staring at me. Staring at me. You're so cute. Yeah, he's doing great. He eats like a champ. Very, very hungry. Though I normally have to actually dig him up out of the soil or his exoterra rock, magnetic rock hide, when I feed him, because he won't always come up and notice there's food if I don't dig him out and stick him in front of the food dish. So he gets taken out once or twice a week. I dig him up to make sure he's eating. But he's doing really good, even with the some of the scars and stuff he has, which aren't going to show up on camera, I'm sure. I am shooting this in natural sunlight so you can see like what his natural colors really look like. Let me grab him a second, YouTube. There you go. I'll grab him because he'll go down my shirt again. But yeah, I'm shooting this in natural sunlight so you can really see what, you know, his natural wild colors are. Because artificial lighting, or if the room's really dark, can really, it can mess up their colors. It can make them look duller. Especially like a yellow incandescent lighting can make a lot of reptiles look much duller than they really are in natural sunlight. So this is him in natural sunlight. He's not in shed or anything. This is what he looks like all the time. When he is in shed, all of that gorgeous red on him turns pink. So it's really obvious when he's in shed, he turns pink. He's pink instead of red when he sheds. He looks like a girl. And I'm serious about that. Females are not very bright colored or anything. The males are the brightest colored, which is, since I had a male name picked out, I made sure, you know, I picked the brightest colored one in the bunch. They're also a lot cooler to look at. Females, the stripings on them tend to be very pale, almost like a pink pastel color all the time, almost like he looks like when he's in shed. But he only looks like that when he's in shed. He's had one shed for me. We did have two pieces that were stuck around his face that he didn't quite lick off right, but he now has a humid hide that he can go into, so hopefully there'll be no more problems. But look at those facial, look at the way he moves his face, those facial expressions, so like tilt his head and look at ya, and seriously, personality-wise, I think fire skinks are a lot like bearded dragons. He does some of those, you know, head tilted to the sides and head nods that I've seen people's bearded dragons do. He just, like I said, he's full grown. A 20 long is sufficient for a single fire skink versus a bearded dragon, which gets bigger and you need at least a 40-gallon long for. So that's why I got a fire skink. I love bearded dragons. I just didn't have the room for another 40-gallon tank. All of my 40 plus some gallon tanks are going to larger species of snake. So I got a fire skink instead. I absolutely love their colors anyway, and I have no red or black in my reptile collection, so it's a really great addition color-wise even. And he's absolutely a joy. You can see he's pretty calm. He's just sitting here. Oh, he's off again. You can see his little tongue going. Absolutely adorable, though. I've been told that them being this calm and this friendly and not nippy is not the normal. Though most people that have them on YouTube have taken the time and gotten them to tame down like this. So they're definitely a reptile that you can tame down to be all nice and calm and stuff like this. So I do highly recommend them. They're great. A lot of people like them. You do need a nice, thick, loose, damp substrate because they, like I mentioned, they're a burrowing species of tropical lizard. I'm using a mixture of cypress mulch moss and cocoa husk, and it works great. It doesn't stick to him the way a cocoa fiber would. So you could even just do one versus mixing them. I just mixed them to have a different look of texture and color in my setup. But other than that, they don't really need any decor. I gave him 2 little pieces of upright cork bark that he can climb on, and I have seen him climb on them. I have a nice big plant at the top of one of the cork barks, and I have seen him climb into the plant and kind of perch under the leaves a little bit at night. And then he's got one of the large Exoterra magnetic hides, which is where he was when I dug him out. He was quite comfy in there. That's his little humid hide spot. And it's on the cool side, and he was there. I'm kind of surprised because in his other cage he spent most of his time attached to the heat mat. But like I said, it's feeding day, so he might go on the hot side again. Normally, you don't really need a hide. They'll burrow, stay burrowed right underneath it if you give it to them. And they will climb occasionally if you give them a nice big branch or a sturdy plant. It's not necessary, but it makes the cage look nice, and it gives them something else to do that they do seem to appreciate, and it does seem to make them more amicable to being above ground more if there's stuff for them to do and hide in behind and climb on above ground. It seems to make them unbury themselves a little bit more, so I'm being stared at again. Oh, nope, I want to go on the hair. But I do highly recommend them, fairly easy to keep. Do need to keep them nice and warm. His new mulch substrate actually holds and distributes heat. Awesome. Very, very awesome, which might be why I'm finding him more on the cool and mid-zone now, because the mulch substrate's just holding and distributing his heat a lot better than the paper towels I had him on when I brought him home. But he stays, you don't want to keep them any cooler than about 87 degrees, but you really should have your warm side should really be up into the 90s. So his hot zone is about 90, I think it is. The coolest it's ever dropped is 85, and it's very, very rare that happens. Very rare. So normally it's in the the high 80s to low 90s, and he's been doing good. So that's him. I highly recommend him. He's very friendly. He likes being petted. He likes his back stroked. Lets me pet his head. He'll actually kind of close his eyes a little bit, pet his head. But he likes his back stroked. He lets me stroke his chin too, scratch his chin too. So he's a really good boy. I love having him around. He's just a really big pain in the butt to dig up because he doesn't want to come out of his burrow, and he'll run away from me and squirm away, but he doesn't bite at me or anything. I have been bitten by one this size at a pet store, and it's just a pinch. It doesn't really hurt or anything. It's just a nice pinch. You don't break the skin or anything. So, but that's him. Say bye. Say bye, Teo. Teo. No, you're comfy. That's what he does. I'll walk around the house with him on my shoulder, right under my hair. Gotta be careful though, because he likes to climb in under my shirt and down my back, and they have some claws. Don't know if you're gonna be able to see their claws at all very well. Sorry. Camera, probably not. But they do have claws, little clear claws, and I'm gonna have little red claw pricks on me tomorrow, all over my back and up my arm. So, but again, it's just like a mild scratching feeling. They don't break the skin or anything, but I just mark and bruise very easily because I'm extremely fair. But they're great. They're great little guys. I know a lot of people that have them and they love them, so I highly suggest them. Great beginner lizard. Way better than a crested gecko, honestly, because, oops, he actually holds still. He's not jumping all over the place like a crested gecko does, and they're pretty forgiving in their care. If their humidity drops really low or something for a few hours, they're usually okay, at least when they're established. The size babies are not. So I'm sorry, YouTube, I've ranted like forever. So this was gonna be quick, but he's cute. I absolutely love him. I'd have to say he's probably my favorite lizard of the three in my collection. Though I gotta say, my crested gecko, very jumpy, not the easiest to hold. She so takes two hands and never holds still. She does like being petted in the cage though, but my crested gecko is very active, and they make a great animal to just watch in the cage. But handling them definitely takes some practice and some experience. So, but I absolutely love this guy. Best $25 lizard I've ever. Some of the best $25 I've ever spent. I guess that's the way I should put it. So they're not that expensive either, but they're great. So, oh, there he goes. He's gonna try and hide. It's like the rabbits. Oh, you can't see me. My head's under your arm. You can't see me. Oh, he's climbing away. Teo. Teo. Now we're on this arm again. But, alright, he's getting a little antsy. So, see you next time, YouTube.